What is going on, my PGA DFS fans and friends? I am Jason Rouslin, the host of this short form video, which is the top 5 sleepers for the US Open. Now, if you're following me each and every week on these videos, I certainly appreciate it. And we love to give you winners. And in these 2 value and sleeper videos last week, well, we went 7 for 10 with the winner and a couple of other top 5. So hopefully you all cashed in on that and avoided the Brandon Wu call here in this sleeper video as he ended up withdrawing. Just cannot figure that out, can DraftKings, on what to do when a golfer withdraws after lock. It is one of the most annoying things in professional, or I should say, PGA DFS. Now, hopefully we're going to avoid that this week, and it is major time, the 3rd of 4 majors of the year, and that always comes with big time prizes, 3 millionaire makers on DraftKings this week, and big time props over on PrizePicks, the short form video sponsor here this week. Now, if you haven't checked out PrizePicks, check them out. They're daily props-based contest. You can use cross-sport promotions. I'll tell you about that in a second. There's no optimizers, no sharks, no worry about that. You pick your 5 guys, and you're just going up against an over-under. That's simple. So let me give you an example very quick. Jason Tatum, tonight's NBA Finals. He's scheduled for 26.5 points. You want to take the over on that and say match it up with Rory McIlroy under on his first round score. You'll be able to do that tomorrow. Again, this is Monday, 5 o'clock. The props are not quite out for golf yet on PrizePicks, but stay tuned for those as we jump into our top 5 sleepers here this week. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel here as we have great content coming out. Also, check out our OddsChecker YouTube channel as well for all your sports betting needs. Now, let's jump into our sleepers here. So we're going to talk about Brian Harman all the way down the board first this week, coming in at just $7,000 this week. Now, his major performance, 34th at the PGA Championship a couple of weeks ago. Missed cut at the Masters, though. That's maybe a little bit concerning, not too concerning here for Harman this week, as he's working off an 18th place finish a few weeks ago at the Memorial. So certainly some good attitude coming in. Now, checking at his strokes gain rank, Harman has been finding a ton of fairways this year, and with it, is ranked in the top 75 in strokes gained off the tee for a guy that hits it very short. He's ranked 74th. 117 on the approach. Well, that's not something typically we want from our golfers at a U.S. Open, but the fact that he's 77th and 42nd around the green and on the green, he can make up for a little bit of lack in iron play. But for a guy that's going to come in probably close to 2% owned and has the ability to rack up DFS points in a hurry and has been featured in a couple of millionaire maker lineups in the past 10, we like Brian Harman this week to outperform. Now, if you checked out my course and player preview video, that is, of course, on our Awesemo YouTube channel here, you heard me talk a bit about Sepp Straka, who is 2 for 2 in major championships this year, coming in 78th and 30th in the 2. And what I like about Straka is he's got an all-around game when he's on. Now, that's the key, when he's on. But he hasn't been great since his win at the Honda Classic. However, I think there's a lot of similarities to the Honda Classic to their here this week at the Country Club. It's a long par 70 with very difficult holes and just a few scoring holes. This is very similar to PGA National. Now, of course, now it's Bermuda. You're talking to a guy that lives in Florida that's from Rhode Island. So I've got the mix of these grasses pretty down well. It was all Bermuda. Now I know we're going to basically a POA bent mix up there, which is different for Straka. But still, I like his form that's coming in, and I like his ability not to rely on one strokes gained statistic. Again, when he's on, he's got all parts of his game working. Also like the fact that he's 2 for 2 and made cuts in major championships this year. Next thing I want to talk about and why he's a sleeper this week, kind of crazy, is Russell Henley was the toy that every PGA DFS gamer loved to use for a lot of this year. But for some reason, he hasn't been on the wavelength recently. He hasn't played in a couple of weeks. Maybe that's why people don't want to play him, but he's 2 for 2 in majors this year, came in 60th and 30th in the 2 major championships, and boasts one of the best approach games on the season. He's ranked 2nd for when I took these stats rankings. 105th off the tee, 26th around the green, and 110th putting for Russell Henley. He's coming in at $7,300 this week. A low price, a low ownership on a course that's not going to require distance. I do like Russell Henley quite a bit this week. Now, I've got 2 guys. We had a bunch to pick from, believe it or not, this week of 8,500 and above. I count maybe 5, maybe upwards of 10 golfers that could be under 10% owned this week. We don't find that often, but with so many gamers looking to Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas, who are in top form and have been for some time. It's going to soak up the ownership and create a bit of an ownership bubble for the others. So let's talk about Brooks Koepka first. If it was 2 years ago and Brooks Koepka was $8,700 at a major, he'd be 40% owned, maybe even more. But the fact of the matter is he's not playing good golf, has not played well in majors this year, 55th at the PGA, missed cut again at the Masters. But now we head to Brookline where Koepka might find a little bit more success. And he's going to come in 1, 2, 3% owned. Maybe as the week marches on, he might climb up to the 5% owned range. But you're getting a guy that clearly is coming off a high. He just got married there last week. Now, we haven't heard anything about him joining the LIV Golf Tour. We've heard his brother has joined, of course. Ended up cashing a pretty good paycheck for himself as well there. Probably his biggest paycheck in his professional career. The fact that he's only really played on mini tours. Now, nonetheless, we're here to talk about Brooks. And let's find out why Brooks is maybe not having a great season. 75th off the tee for a guy that pounds the ball as well as he does is not good. 125 on the approach is not good either. 155th around the green is pretty awful. And then 43rd putting. Well, the other stats come back and the ball striking returns because it is a major championship. I think Koepka at just 2% owned this week and $8,700 should be, especially if you're max entering, say, the Millionaire Maker, he should be in your player pool. All right, last and maybe least I want to talk about is my guy, Collin Morikawa. He is on the struggle bus. There is no doubt about it. Missing the cut at Muirfield Village, the Memorial, a couple of weeks ago, a course that he's won at and played so well at in years past. Things are just not going in Morikawa's direction. His putter has been terrible. Equally as bad has been his around the green game. So, with his short game struggling so much, does it matter that he's ranked 25th with strokes gained off the tee this year, or maybe 5th in strokes gained on the approach? Well, certainly it does matter if he returns to, say, the Masters type form where he came in 5th there. He also did make the cut at Southern Hills coming in 55th. So it's not like he's missing the weekend or anything, but for a guy that's $10,000, certainly we would hope that he gets in the top 7 of the event. So for Morikawa coming in at 4% owned, that's why I like him. We can get, say, 10, 12% of them in our GPP lineups and be double or triple the field. And now if Morikawa does return to his, say, Masters type form and comes in the top 5, we'll be very, very much ahead of the crowd in those 10 or 12% of our lineups. But if he ends up missing the cut, well, we still have 90 or so percent of our lineups that are not dead through Morikawa. Plenty of other ways to make our lineups dead, of course, but that's what we're going to help you here with this week. If you didn't find enough help in these 2 videos, make sure you check out our live videos. Tuesday, PGA DFS Strategy Show with Eric Lindquist and Ben Raza. And then live before lock, Wednesday, Ben and myself are going to break it down. Everything you need to know to do well at the Country Club in the US Open this week. So until next time, everybody, make sure you are liking and subscribing to our channel on the way out. Make sure you're checking out Prize Picks as well. A great way to differentiate your investing into PGA DFS this week. So until next time, everybody, join us next week again for the Travelers Championship, one of the best PGA Tour events on the schedule. But before we get there, we've got the big one here this week at the US Open. Good luck. Somebody take down that Millionaire Maker that's listening to this. That would make me happy. Hey, maybe even if it's me, that would be great as well. Maybe I'll split first place with you. That wouldn't be the worst thing. So until next time, everybody, good luck this week, and we will see you on the other side. Cheers.